What's going on, NFL fans? Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports, ready to answer your questions. If you're wondering, wait, how can I get my questions on a future mailbag? You got to join us when we go live Monday and Wednesday, whether it's me, whether it's Tom, and you make sure you're subscribed and you make sure you're watching our NFL live shows. This first one is coming in from Sour Team. Will the Lions win a game this season? And if so, who will they beat? I don't know what team they're going to beat, but I also know this. The NFL is a very competitive league, even when your team is as bad as what Detroit is, even when they've given up 244 points. I'll tell you, it would be really interesting to see Detroit have two teams that both go 0-16 or now technically 0-17. I do think Detroit's going to run into a win sooner rather than later. The fact that when you look at as bad as what the Jags have been, they have a win this year. The Texans, the Jets, anything can happen. Did anybody expect the Jets to beat the Titans or the Bengals? No, but guess what? Sometimes crazy shit happens in the NFL. I do think Detroit does at least get one win. This next question is coming in from Alex Hernandez. What do the Saints do now that Winston is out? Do they just ride with Trevor Siemian? Personally, I don't like the idea of riding with Trevor Siemian. The other issue is this. You don't really have too many other options. So Taysom Hill, he's been out with a concussion since Week 5, and Ian Book, the rookie out of Notre Dame, I don't have confidence really in either of those quarterbacks. If you were to ask me which guy do I think is actually the best NFL quarterback, I might actually say Trevor Siemian. He's a really safe play. I believe they're -6 favorites as it stands right now. So I'm going to say you're going to roll with Siemian, or you go out and make a splash maybe by signing somebody. Probably the top free agent quarterback right now is Cam Newton. Trading for a quarterback maybe like Marcus. Oh, you can't trade. Duh, Mitch, trade deadline's gone. Yeah, Cam Newton's probably your best option. All right, y'all. So who's the most disappointing team so far this season? Now, it doesn't mean the worst team because I didn't expect a lot out of the Texans. Didn't expect a lot out of the Lions. My vote for most disappointing team so far this season, it's the Miami Dolphins. They're sitting at 1-7. I actually had them winning 9 games. I don't think they're going to basically win out here, but I'm going to go with Miami. They're sitting here at 1-7. Mark Kern says the Dolphins, and then, yeah, I actually think the other team name to definitely throw in there is the Kansas City Chiefs, who are sitting at 4-4, which is, you know, kind of a crazy thing, but the Chiefs this year remind me a lot of that season a few years ago with the Philadelphia Eagles where everyone was talking, oh, dream team, and then they weren't all that good. Remember when Kansas City was talking about, oh, we could go 20-0, we could be perfect. Yeah, where are you at now? Let's go to I'm the Man, humble, love it. With the Vaughn trade and cornerback room shrunk, 2 players till Callahan back, okay? Do you see Denver signing a free agent or riding out the rest of the season as is? I mean, I could definitely still see Denver trying to go ahead and bring somebody in, even though they are 4-4. I thought the Vaughn trade was kind of interesting because trading away Von Miller tells me that they were going to be sellers, though multiple reports are out there that said that they could still buy. I still think that Denver is a halfway decent team. The offense has definitely dealt with a lot of injuries, but sure, I still could see them bringing in another defensive back or maybe even a potential cornerback. Let's go to Clarence Williams here next up here on NFL Daily. Remember, y'all, hashtag NFL, or you can super chat to get your questions on the show. I had so much hope for the Browns, and now this OBJ drama. Why does this stuff always happen? I will say it's kind of ironic at times how it does seem like some teams in the NFL are lucky and unlucky. I'm with you. I had high hopes for Cleveland. I was on this show saying I think they're the most complete team in the NFL minus the quarterback position. The offensive line is there. The defense is great. I don't have a lot of confidence in Baker Mayfield, but are we really surprised that the drama is also coming from Odell Beckham Jr., who is a notable diva? Next question is coming up here from Robert Baruce. Hey, Mitch, Marshall, Trace, Jack, Jeremy, Sam, time all the game. Okay, great job as usual with the extreme close losses to Tampa and Miami and beating the Chargers. Are the Pats for real, please? Do I think they're for real? No, but I do think that they are getting better and better and better, and I'm going to give New England a little bit of credit for the way that they've handled Mac Jones. I mean, Mac Jones right now, I think, is in the best situation out of all the rookie quarterbacks that have come in. I still think New England is a top 20 team. I don't think they're a top 10 team. I don't even think they're a top 15 team. But New England is at least a team that you can't sleep on. And anytime you try to sleep on Bill Belichick, man, it's not really going to result in anything good. Now, if anybody wants to go out there and bet on any game in NFL Week 9, you want to bet on who's going to win division, Super Bowl, comeback player of the year, year, Rookie of the Year, you got to do it at BetUS. Now, to get our deal that I'm about to talk about, you got to go to chatsports.com/bet. You have to use that link. If you don't, you're not going to get the deal. Use promo code NFL Daily. That's going to get you 125% deposit bonus. So, with the deposit bonus alone, it's the best deal on the internet. So, imagine depositing $100. You get $125 for free to bet with. And on top of the $125 for free to bet with, we're also going to throw in a free NFL jersey. Now, the way that you get the jersey is you deposit the money, you get $125 for free, put down at least $5 on a game you want to bet on the Buccaneers winning this week. Guess what? You can go ahead and do so. In fact, here's actually the instructions on how you do it. You got to go to chatsports.com/bet, promo code NFL Daily, sign up and deposit at least $100, then email us with a screenshot of the deposit you made and a bet that you made. That way we can confirm it. Give us your account number, jersey@chatsports.com. Some of the jerseys that you see over here are the ones that we have. I mean, we have hundreds in stock, so if you want to be like, hey, can I get a Matthew Stafford Rams jersey? Sure, we got you covered. You want to get a Kyler Murray? We got that one too. Bottom line is we want you guys to bet on sports. I personally think it's a lot more fun. Even if it's a crappy game like Thursday night football or whatever the heck it is, you can go ahead, put some money down, and have a little bit more fun. One more time, chatsports.com/bet, promo code NFL Daily. All right, let's go to Dale Webb Jr. What up, brother? What are the chances that the Raiders go after OBJ? Well, I know for a fact that the Raiders are interested in OBJ. That is if he is actually released. The other issue is it could be, the Raiders are 5-2 going through the waiver process. That's kind of what gets interesting, but it also has a lot to do with the amount of money that you would have to go out and give Beckham, and the Raiders don't really have that type of money. I would say the top two teams right now most likely to go out and try to get OBJ, the Saints, and yeah, probably the Raiders. Let's go to L2_Clouds, OBJ to Chicago. I don't really think that one's as likely, and if that were to happen, if I was Allen Robinson, I'd be one of the most ticked off dudes there was, because I'd be like, wait a minute, you're going to go out and give OBJ all this money, but you wouldn't give me any money? Yeah, deuces. Let's go to Mark Kearns. What up, man? If Aaron Rodgers gets suspended, how long will it be for? Well, I actually wish Matthew Peterson was on the show right now, because he's been talking about things that used to disturb him in middle school from his old Aaron Rodgers days, but I mean, if it was up to me, I would suspend Rodgers for at least a game or two for violating the COVID protocol, because that definitely speaks volumes. Or you take away draft picks from a team. If you don't know the entire story, I mean, it's definitely something to take a deeper dive into. But Rodgers basically said he was vaccinated, or lied about it, or hinted at it. He hasn't been following protocol. The Packers knew that he wasn't vaccinated and he wasn't following protocol. You saw some teams last year get hit with some big fines and lose draft picks. Same thing should happen to the Packers. Let's go to TD Twister. Since the Dolphins didn't trade for Watson, does that mean Tua is the guy moving past this season? That's a hell of a question. Moving past this season, I'm still going to say TBD, because Brian Flores flat out said, hey, Tua's going to be our starting quarterback the rest of the year. Though, literally back in 2019, he said the exact same thing about Josh Rosen, and the very next week, Ryan Fitzpatrick started over him. I definitely think Tua is a much better prospect than Rosen, but you just got to play everything out year by year, and as far as I'm concerned, I don't think Tua is ever going to be a top 10 quarterback. I don't think Tua is ever going to be a top 15 quarterback. You better hope that he can be a top 20, because he's not even in the top 20 discussion as far as I'm concerned. Now, who's been the best team so far this year? Okay, man, we just did our NFL power rankings, and it was a absolute roller coaster ride trying to figure out who's the best team, because at this point of the year, you're like, all right, well, it's this team. But you're like, oh, wait, they lost to this team. Oh, wait, they lost to this team. It's kind of like the whole college football discussion, which how Alabama's number 2 in that whole ranking system is an absolute joke, but that's a whole nother discussion. I'm still going to go ahead and say it's between the Rams and it's between the Packers. I think the Rams adding Von Miller definitely helps. We'll see what Green Bay is able to do with Jordan Love this week, but I'm going to say it's either the Packers, the Rams, and I'm still going to throw out the Cardinals in that list as well. Also, and I hate saying this, probably could throw out the Cowboys there too. Let's go to Winter Skull 69. Do the Raiders bring in a receiver after the Henry Ruggs situation? So as it stands right now, I am recording this video on Wednesday, November 3rd. The Raiders have 2 open spots left. They have 51 out of their 53. I believe they're going to put in a claim for Deshaun Jackson. I also think that if OBJ is released, it's going to be, kind of an interesting situation. If you want to know some receivers that the Raiders could potentially go out and get, I put out a video on the Raiders Report YouTube channel. It's like over 20 names, so please go ahead and check it out. Now, if anybody out there wants to just stay up to date on everything going on around the NFL, if the Raiders make a move, if there's a big-time splash with OBJ, if anything major happens, we keep you guys up to date. Some of the videos that we've made this past week, Derrick Henry replacements. We did a college football show yesterday. If you just love sports in general, and if you love talking about sports, we're the perfect company for you. So youtube.com/chatsportstv, please hit that sub and turn on those noties. Let's go to Tom Downey's actual account. Why do fans still want their teams to sign Jalen Pegleg Smith? Because people don't really realize that Jalen is slow, and Jalen is not a very good linebacker. Tom, you know as well as I do that he is by far below average, and he just can't move any well. But people will be like, but he had 154 tackles last year. Tackles are probably the most overrated stat that there is on the defensive side of the football. Because just because you're getting tackles doesn't always mean you're doing the right things. But I'm with you. Let's go to Juan Hernandez. What up, my man? Henry Ruggs gone. We should sign Deshaun Jackson. Does he have the same speed as Ruggs? Does he have the same speed as Ruggs? No. I don't think there's many players in the NFL that have 4.2 speed. The other part about Ruggs was he was starting to get he was becoming a better route runner. Jackson is more just a straight line guy, but it's not as easy just going out and signing Jackson. He's going to hit the waiver wire, and it's going through a waiver system, and it's basically just like the draft order. If the Lions want Deshaun Jackson, they put in a waiver claim for him, and they get him. Next team up, I believe, would be the Houston Texans, and then it's the Miami Dolphins, and then so on and so forth. So you got to go through over 20 teams before you get to the Raiders. We'll see. Let's go to Dusty Rhodes. I feel that the Broncos really screwed up this trade deadline by trading Vaughn and then no one else. I thought they should be big sellers like Fuller, Callahan, Gordon, and more. Well, the fact that Bryce Callahan got put on IR is actually, I think, one of the reasons why maybe Fuller didn't end up getting dealt, or they were asking for a little bit too much. I also think that the fact that they ended up trading Von Miller and they're still paying $9 million of his $9.7 million salary does kind of make him a loser, but it also makes me wonder a little bit if Vaughn wanted out, because definitely a little bit of an interesting situation. But hey, you got a second and a third round pick. Let's go to Gil Williams. What up? Lamar should win MVP. He's got the Ravens competitive with all the injuries they've had. Baltimore's definitely had a shit ton. I don't know how big that is, but it's a shit ton of injuries this season to a lot of very important pieces on that offense. Lamar's an incredible player. There's no doubt about that. But I'm still going to go out and say the front runners for MVP, I'll probably still put Kyler up in that discussion. Matthew Stafford absolutely has to be in the discussion. Tom Brady's fallen down a little bit. The fact that Dak missed this game, that's definitely lowered him. But Derrick Henry would have been my number one pick, but now he's fallen down. I would probably say, yeah, Lamar's definitely in the top 10. I don't know if he's top 5, but he's at least kind of in the discussion. Now, all right, I like this question here because I always find it hilarious. If a team loses, usually it's like, F the refs, they're terrible, they don't know what they're doing. So I want you to rate the officiating this season for the NFL, scale it from 1 to 10. 1 being the interim refs. What was like the thing a few years ago where it was like it was just like a whole bunch of just terribleness refereeing. 1 to 10. 1 being it's been terrible, 10 it's been great. Let me know down in the comments.